Hello and welcome back to the ArtReach Virtual Classroom. My name is Maria Martinez and this is going to be our last video in our art challenge series. So sad, but also so awesome because we've created a lot of art and a lot of meaningful art as well throughout this series. So this last project is going to be inspired by an artist who's really known more for her photography, but I'm also really choosing to focus more on the way that she arranges images together because her ideas are so powerful and so inspiring. So we're going to look at her art and understand why she chooses to put certain things together and the stories that she tries to tell. So I'm really excited for us to start this final project, and make sure to stay till the end of the video where we're going to display all of her art together, and I'll talk about how we can create our own art gallery at home. Alright, thank you. Our challenge today is inspired by visual artist Lorna Simpson. Her artwork stands out as a single piece or grouped together on a gallery wall. This quality is also known as unity. The images we are looking at today are found object photography portraits. We will also see some of her drawn and painted works, but it should be noted that she is known best for her photography. Our goal is to understand the purpose of unity so that we can create our own group of images that are connected through the same idea. Here are our vocabulary and terms. Unity, the quality of seeming whole and complete, with all parts looking right together. Portrait, a work of art created to show a person, animal, or a group of people, usually focusing on the face. Found object, something that an artist finds and uses in an artwork, such as a scrap of metal, piece of wood, photograph, etc. Lorna Simpson is an American artist who is best known for her photographs. Born in 1960, she studied photography in New York and later studied art at UC San Diego. By the time she graduated from UCSD, her work was already well known. Throughout her career, her artwork has focused on identity, or what makes us who we are. In her work, she talks about culture, history, memory, and what it's like to be a woman. Her work, whether grouped together on a gallery wall or viewed as an individual photograph, all work to tell the same story, sometimes accompanied with text to help the viewer, other times without, leaving it up to the viewer to interpret. First, we're going to look at wigs, which is an older piece made by Lorna. We see a collection of women's wigs printed on what looks to be paper, but is actually felt. Lorna chose felt because it mimics the natural texture of hair. By placing these wigs on simple white backgrounds, Lorna invites us to imagine who would wear this wig, what their character and personality would be like. Lorna is making a statement on what it's like to be a woman and all of the different roles that they can fill. In her photo booth series, Lorna Simpson uses found photographs, grouped together based on certain ideas, such as people wearing hats or two people in one photo. She allows us to view these photos together as one whole piece, but also invites us to observe each individual image to imagine the story behind it. She does this by carefully framing each photo she finds, so that it looks as if it's its own piece, but the way she has them grouped together also indicates that they are part of a bigger whole. Lastly, I wanted us to look at her head studies. She made these using pencil and watercolor on paper, which is very similar to the supplies that we have and that we've been working with this entire time. I think it's important to include artwork that is done by professional artists using simple materials, because it's often the most simple materials that make the largest impact. Here are the supplies for this last project. Watercolor paper, found images from magazines, newspapers, junk mail, glue, scissors, pencil and eraser, watercolor paint and brush, water cup, and paper towels. Here are the steps for this final project. You can pause this and read it at your own pace. First, let's warm up. Decide whether you are going to use found images or if you are going to paint the images yourself. You can use a combination. The goal of this project is to use a variety of images that all tell the same story, whether together or apart. Unity. Step 1. Planning comes first. Mark out the areas on your paper where you'd like to place your images, whether they are painted or collaged. If you are drawing your images, use light pencil lines to mark out the areas where you'd like them on your paper. Do this by drawing a small square. Then you can continue by first sketching with pencil, then coloring with watercolors. You can add more detail with pencils or marker once the watercolors have dried. Step 2. After your painted sections are complete, include your collage elements if you are using them. Remember to take your time arranging and organizing your images together so that they feel balanced and fill the paper nicely. Step 3. Finally, glue all of your collage elements down. Use your marker to draw borders around both your paintings and collage images. This will create a frame around each image, which both isolates it but also creates a sense of unity because all of our images will be framed the same way. Alright, so that was our final project. I'm going to show you what I have completed. So here is my final piece. I decided, well, sometimes the work chooses itself, but I came across a really nice page in a magazine that had all these different pictures of shoes, and I kind of thought about shoes in the terms that Lorna thinks about wigs, in the sense that they are something that can really describe a lot about ourselves and about what we do, and it's something that we can take on and off, so we can put different shoes on for different roles we play in our life. So I really liked that idea, and I wanted to include one drawn element using watercolor. This is actually a picture of a shoe that I have that I only wear to like really special events, so they really only get worn maybe like once a year. But I decided to include it because all of these other shoes are tennis shoes, right? They're used for like casual walking and like day-to-day life, but I decided to do this shoe, which is high heel. It's not really useful for everyday life. It's not something you wear walking around the town. So I wanted to make it also stand out, so I decided to illustrate it in watercolor. So I was really happy with the way this turned out. I wasn't sure how I was going to start this project when I was looking for my found images. So sometimes you have to work backwards. Sometimes the images come to you and you see them and you say, ah, there's an idea. So I also wanted to take some time to talk about how we're going to set up our gallery wall, or most of you already have. I know in your art kits you got a piece of yarn and some clothespins. So I'm going to show you how my wall is set up so that we can look at all of our pieces together and look at all of the progress we made throughout this video.
Alright, so that's our gallery wall, and I am so happy with the way that this program turned out. I'm so sad I didn't get to meet any of you in person, but I may cross paths with you again, so if you recognize me from your videos, if I'm teaching an art class later on in the school year, definitely say hello. I'm really, really proud of all the work that you have done, and even for just showing up and watching these videos, that's a big accomplishment. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your time and your attention and your hard work, and have a wonderful rest of your school year. Thank you.